last wishes?
Your life ebbs low.
This is where I step in.
Onwards! Our training pays off. They go down!
What a waste.
I need a moment to recover.
Serves you right.
Stay behind me!
Become as dust. Ah!
I'll loot your corpse. Stab their backs.
You deserved it.
My instincts dull when I'm tired.
My strength fades.
I respect useful books, but who needs shallow stories? Fables about a knight who slew a dragon won't help you if you meet a dragon in real life.
Then they'll write books about me, Lindsay the Dragon Slayer. Or no, more like Lindsay who was not afraid to challenge a dragon and get heroically eaten in her prime. Sounds good, huh?
The way seems clear. They dare threaten me. Cover me! Kiss your life goodbye.
Any last wishes?
Baroness.
This is where I step in.
Let us strike as one! Ugh. Not doing it wrong. Spell it wrong. Ah!
Repent! Your life ebbs low.
Your death awaits.
Blood for Gorham!
Serves you right.
I swear, never have I been so glad to meet a stranger. Even with the power granted me by Sarenrae, I almost lost. You have my thanks. Please, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Tristian. You are very kind. Kindness to strangers is in short supply these days. But worry not. Sarenrae's priests are skilled in the healing arts. I can heal myself. I was investigating this fog. I believe you have already discerned that it is magical in nature. I serve Sarenrae, goddess of sunlight. Discovering an evil magic that isolated living creatures from the sun alarmed me in no small way. I was able to locate the place the fog originated from, but was too presumptuous and almost got into the beast's teeth. I have never spoken to nymphs, but I believe their assessment is accurate. The creatures occupying this temple are far from ordinary animals. The power that moved them here is related to the fog. The beasts hold the fog as anchors hold a ship dancing in the waves. From what I can tell, once the beasts are defeated, the fog should begin to clear. I promise to think about your request after you deal with the beasts, but please, allow me to catch my breath for now. I will wait for you. This fog bothers me.
Careful now.
Victory!
I'll loot your corpse.
You deserved it.
This didn't work. I must be doing it wrong. Do not falter! Bring it!
Stab their backs.
Any last wishes?
Onwards!
Quiet footsteps. Hesitation is a waste of time. Precisely. Cover me!
Help you! Stay behind me! Tear them apart!
What a waste!
Serves you right.
Let us strike as one! They go down!
Become as dust.
You deserved it.
Do not falter! Bring it! Tear them apart! Done with waiting.
Praised be Sarenrae. Now, if my knowledge serves, the fog should weaken and eventually clear entirely. We need only wait. Perhaps Somewhere more hospitable? You've saved my life, and I wish to repay good with good. I will gladly aid you in your journeys. Let us be off. We will accomplish much good together. I'm sure of it.
We should gather our strength.
I just hope your strange god will never demand that you take your own life.
Of course not. Why would he? He doesn't need sacrifices. He doesn't demand that his followers carry out what is, in any case, inevitable anyhow. The path to Grotus is the path of contemplation, not destruction.
The way seems clear. Quiet footsteps.
We will prevail!
Any last wishes?
This didn't work. I must be doing it wrong. Onwards!
So it's come to this.
What a waste!
Listen, Tristan. Why do you always forgive everyone for everything? Punch them once, and they respect you right away.
I don't need that kind of respect, Amiri. It brings nothing but suppressed anger. Sooner or later, they'll understand they were wrong and apologize for their carelessness and rash words.
Greetings. I have urgent news from Restov. The investigation that I have conducted at Lady Jamande's orders have proved your innocence. Tartuccio was and still is the Pataxian spy. That dreadful night, it was him who had opened the gate and let the assassins in. It appears that he had planned to gain the barony and Eldori's support, only to later place these lands under the command of his true patron. King Irovetti is no stranger to intrigue and likes to use others to do his dirty work. Anyway, Lady Jamande sends her apologies. We almost had Tartuccio cornered when this damned mist fell. First we entirely lost our way and then stumbled right into a bandit ambush. My people can barely stand, so I would be grateful if you would help us capture this Tartuccio. He must be somewhere nearby. Bring that scum to Oleg's trading post, dead or alive. The Sword Lords will remember this favor. That sly bastard has caused us no little trouble, that's for sure. When he showed up in Restov and announced he was going to join the expedition, nobody suspected a thing. Yes, a gnome, yes, a sorcerer, but so what? Even after that terrible night, some of my people were willing to bet money on you being the spy. His overconfidence was his downfall. Tartuccio's henchmen, it seems, imagined they could safely meet with Pataxian spies in the town's seedy underbelly. But Restov is the ancestral home of the Eldori, and Lady Jamande is respected not only by the aristocracy and the common folk, but also by those on the other side of the law. We received a message from the slums. A good friend, who wished to remain anonymous, suggested the Sword Lords take a closer look at a certain guest from Patax. Jamande immediately sent for me and ordered me to capture the spy, all very quietly, of course. He told us everything, and not only about Tartuccio. I doubt that Irovetti was pleased to hear of his agent's failure. Pataxian spies are much like magpies. They'll grab anything that catches their eye. Information, treasure, artifacts. This time King Irovetti had a chance to seize the entire Stolen Lands region, and at the Eldori's expense. I'll give you some advice for the future. Be wary of the Pataxian king. He's truly a snake of a man. Used to be. It's only a name now, nothing more. The House Baroness are a noble family in Brevo. They own several mines in the Galushkin Mountains. My father Evan is cousin to Lord Howland Baroness, but he's my father no longer. In any case, I brought shame upon my name and was punished accordingly. The family disowned me. I fled to Restov and took up the life of a simple mercenary, until I received an assignment here in the Stolen Lands. Fair enough. For a Baroness, the prosperity of the house and the honor of the name stands above all else, and I was betrothed to a widow from another noble house. This union was of great importance to the family. However, 3 months before the wedding, I met a commoner girl, gentle and pure, and we fell in love. I would have rather died than leave my Tanya, so I decided to break off the engagement with my noble bride. I could never have expected what would follow. My father was furious. I'd set a pointless love affair above the interests of the house. He expelled me from the family and ordered to leave our lands under threat of death. And Tanya, her mother was seriously ill, and she stayed behind to care for her rather than follow me into exile. Thus, I was on my own, disgraced, without a name, and without love. Don't imagine that I ask for pity. Everyone gets what they deserve. That's no simple task. It's not only the love of a woman and a family that I've lost. I had a place in life, a purpose. Once such things are lost, they're hard to find again. Well then, ask away. House Baroness owns a number of valleys and gorges in the Galushkin Mountains. The landscape makes these places easily defensible, and they're rich in ores and everything else the depths of the earth have to offer. It is a place of rare beauty. When I moved to Restov, I couldn't get used to it for a long time. There was nothing but sky between the roofs, no mountain peaks anywhere in sight. It is an old and renowned family, one of the most influential in Brevo. A long time ago, the Goress house entered a pact with the dwarven clan of Golka. This proved to be of great benefit to both parties, and they've supplied the ore for our forges ever since. Lord Howland even took the son of the dwarven leader as his ward. Who would have known where this would lead? The same winter that Brevo lost the Rogarvia dynasty, Howland's only natural son, Bren, went missing in the mountains. Thus, Toval Golka, the Lord's dwarven ward, became heir to House Goress. The lad has it tough, though. Too many believed Howland should have chosen someone of his own blood to be the heir. I would imagine my own father had similar plans for me, but we all know how that went. As you wish.
The way seems clear. The way seems clear.
To arms!
Quiet footsteps. That's easy.
Oh, my impromptu rival. You are late, as always. A little advice? Never join any races. Speed is just not for you. Do you mean the performance I put on for the kobolds? Wasn't this an excellent idea? The poor folks did everything I wanted, even started a brawl with their beloved neighbor mites. I did not even need to make any effort to complete my mission. That is why I will always be a step ahead of you and the like.
Without a doubt, Vice does have its advantages. However, in the end, it always, you hear me? Always gets what it rightfully deserves.
But you don't know my mission, and won't ever know because I will never tell you, even for the pleasure of seeing your discouraged face. Don't take me for an idiot. I am not going to tell you anything, even despite the fact that I am going to kill you. By the way, did you know I am going to kill you?
Running won't help you!
This didn't work. I must be doing it wrong. Onwards!
Magritium Turinos.
Stab their backs. Precisely. Quiet footsteps.
The treacherous servant of a treacherous king, who in his turn is mere servant to even greater powers. He impersonates a lesser creature and dies. What a sorry. A good joke is a powerful weapon, and a bad one can seal the Joker's fate. A good joke is a powerful weapon, and a bad one can seal the Joker's fate. A good joke, so be it. Rise, my unfortunate jester. Your performance is not over yet. So be it, so be it. Rise, my unfortunate jester. Your performance is not over yet.
My instincts dull when I'm tired. Precisely. Quiet footsteps. The way seems clear.
How may I serve you? Erastil be praised, you finally returned, my good friend. Christian told me how you helped him at the Temple of the Elk. Thank you for heeding my request. My heart is calm and filled with confidence that I've followed the will of my God. I would like to reward your bravery. I possess no treasure, but please, take this as a token of appreciation. I trust in their truth. These visions, they were the voice of Erastil himself, quiet but clear. Before all this happened, I believed Erastil had turned his back to me. But now, I see clearly. He has shown me divine mercy, for he has led me to you and invited me to aid in a fellow priest's deliverance. Lady Sarenrae and Erastil walk the paths of the gods hand in hand, and so must their servants as well. Christian is undoubtedly still very young, and youth is a time of naivete and confusion. But I see kindness and strength of spirit in him, traits indispensable to a priest. I sense that all that's transpired thus far is only the beginning, and the future promises great things for Christian and for you. This is why Erastil led me to the Temple of the Elk. Day and night I pray for you and for my young friend. May the stag god lead you down the true path. As you wish. That's why I'm here. As you wish. What exactly would you like to know? My story? Why not? You deserve to know it. I am a priest of Erastil, and Galt is my homeland. You can imagine what it's like following the teachings of the stag god in a realm torn by discord and strife. Rebellion and suspicion are the pillars of Galt. Led by Erastil, I tried to guide my flock to embrace tranquility and balance and guard them from hasty judgment, until I fell from grace myself. Foolish, foolish old Jod. My misdeeds cast a shadow over my life and service. In search of redemption and a balm for my soul, I took to the road. I had come nearly to despair when Erastil sent me a vision of the Temple of the Elk. I knew that very moment that the stag god had shown me the way to redemption. Well, if you truly wish to know, I'll have to start from the long time back. Werewolves preyed upon the lands around my village. They murdered people for fun or sport and left the corpses to rot on the roads. One night, they broke into a young woman's house and dragged her into the streets. One evening, a traveler came to our tavern, tattered and dirty from days on the road, like so many others roaming Galt. He sat quietly in the corner of the tavern, drinking cheap ale, and in an instant, I knew he was a werewolf. I felt it in my soul. It was like Erastil himself had whispered it into my ear. Led by Providence, I left to gather my flock, and we surrounded the tavern. The retribution was swift. However, I was tragically mistaken. The young man was no werewolf. He was a bandit, sent to spy on the village by one of the local gangs. We only found out after, when we went through his things. Whatever the case, I knew Erastil was no longer pleased with me. It was terrifying. Imagine how my mind raced when here in the Stolen Lands I heard the voice of the stag god once again. He gave me another chance at service to atone for my guilt. Now I have regained hope, and that very hope is my most precious possession. For some, it is a land of freedom, where power belongs to the people, not to lords or kings. For others, it's a land of never-ending revolution, a realm surrendered to anarchy. It depends on who you ask. For me, I found Galt a violent place, Crowds eager to lynch a stranger for that accent or appearance, where a single word uttered at the wrong time or place can spark the people to riot and cities to burn. For me, it is a place inhabited by the frightened and the desperate, always suspicious, watchful of trickery. All too often they are deaf to the voice of reason. They cannot grasp that chaos and lawlessness lead only to yet more chaos and lawlessness. All my life I've tried to break through to these poor people, but alas, I don't seem to have made much progress. As you wish. Of course, it would be my pleasure. Erastil is one of the eldest gods of Golarion. His faith emerged when the first people appeared upon the land. Erastil helped our ancestors cultivate the land and hunt. Even now, his blessing lies with those who uphold the old traditions and keep to simpler ways, far from civilization and the noise of the city. Tell that to the peasant robbed of all he owns, spending his night in the gutter, hoping to live to see the sunrise. You won't see such things in a village. As you say, the word demand does not befit the stag god. Honesty and friendship, loving families, merry weddings, and newborn children in their mother's arms, they bring a smile to Erastil's face. He loves his people and rewards them with fortunate hunts and plentiful harvests. But he has no temper for sloth and vanity. He never bestows gifts upon his faithful without first measuring their worthiness. We ourselves must win our daily bread, but the stag god comes to our aid in times of need and strife. I see it more clearly every day. Erastil himself led me to meet you. Your keen spirit will serve you well. I am happy to help.
Catch my breath.
fight good, but you're boring. A block, a lunge, all with a shield in your hand. Where's the fun in that? Just imagine, hit one in the ear, the other in the jaw, and punch the third one so hard he sees above the clouds.
If it weren't for my shield, the whole party would spend all we have on healing potions. You like cracking skulls, and I'm perfectly content with that. But you'd better let me watch your back. It'll be a lot safer for you. To victory!
Your death awaits.
Consider me provoked. Serves you right.
And I don't expect it to be a friendly one. How about we go together? I'd appreciate some help during the fight. I used my head, finally. I grew up in Restov, choking on hypocrisy. The Aldori make like these brave, noble defenders of justice. But they're afraid to do so much as bark at Shatova. The Stag Lord, he seemed different. Mighty, menacing, like a huge wave rolling toward the shore. He said he'd build a new kingdom here, and anyone brave enough to fight under his banner would get a new life. But now? Now he just sits in his fortress, drinking away and plumbing his bedroom pillows for some queen of his. Though, I can't say if she's real or just a symptom of his drunken delirium. I trusted him. In his name, I almost got Svetlana killed. The only living soul who's been kind to me. I was wrong, and I want to right that wrong with my own hands. I will free these lands of Staglord. What's the plan? A fight's a fight. They'll let me and anyone with me inside the fort. No questions asked. Once we're in there, we call out the Stag Lord and tell him it's time to demonstrate his royal ambitions. Fine. Just don't take long.
Quiet footsteps. Precisely.
Done.
I'm not afraid.
I'll loot your corpse.
behind me!
Dio, Boash, Man! Repent!
Ana, Soa, Taya. They go down!
And then our leader charged forwards. Hey, wait for me!
What wretched wine did you bring me? My stomach is twisting up. These lands are mine! I won't let you take them from me!
Bring it!
I'll try to make this swift.
Yeah!
Stay behind me!
They go down! I can't. Oh, after so long, I learned to stand. Spare me your compassion, your judgment. I'll sleep now. I'll wait for her.
Consider me provoked.
Repent!
Let us strike at once!
Done and done. I did as you asked.
Share your troubles.
Precisely.
I did as you asked. Strike worth a
You
legend.
forced my hand.
Kiss your life.
You think that hurt?
Quiet footsteps.
Hi there, stranger. I'm Irina, Svetlana's sister. I just arrived recently. It's just, I want to start a new life, to forget everything from before, even my old name. I won't be here long, just enough to help Svetlana with her work around the post. I owe her that much. Then I'll be on my way. Still haven't decided where to go, though. Right after battle in the Stag Lord's fortress, Akiros just dissolved, like morning fog. I heard him mumble something about repaying old debts as he left. He's no fool. I'd guess he won't show his face in the Stolen Lands again. Too many people recognize him for being the Stag Lord's right hand. The remnants of the gang all scattered. I'd wager someone's already announced himself as the new Stag Lord and got a knife in the liver from some other wannabe heir.
That's easy.
Good work. Nice to see I haven't lost my intuition for people. Not many would have managed to set out to the Stolen Lands and return with the Stag Lord's head, but I knew you could handle it. You've pulled it off even faster than I expected. Very good. We were short of time, and these months you've won for us proved very useful. Lord Mayor Selimius especially appreciated it, and asked me to give you this little token of gratitude. Congratulations are in order. Today, you'll receive the title of Baroness before the High Society of Restov, and even Natala Sertova personally. God's bless her. Tomorrow, you'll be able to return to the Stolen Lands if you wish. But matters of state can wait. For now, enjoy this feast in your honor. All the city leaders are here. It's a great opportunity to make some useful connections. Speaking of connections, let me introduce you to Kasil Aldori. He's my adopted son and apprentice. He's a trustworthy man. I'd like to send him with you as an envoy. Yes, you certainly have that right. But tell me, how well do you know Brevo's history or the current political atmosphere? It won't be an easy explanation. What's now called Brevo was originally two different countries, Rostland and Issia. 200 years ago, they were stuck in constant squabbles. Then, Coral the Conqueror showed up and united the two states into one. Such diplomatic tricks are easy to manage when you have dragons at your disposal. The so-called noble houses of Brevo, mainly Sertova, Orlovsky, and Lebeda, once ruled over Issia. We, the Aldori, ruled Rostland. The royal house Rogarvia, founded by Coral the Conqueror, forced us into obedience. But 200 years isn't long enough to make peace with such a troubled history. Even 2,000 years wouldn't be enough for us to accept Issian rule. Brevo is a country held together by a thread, and that thread grows ever weaker. We, the Aldori and the great noble houses, spent 200 years under the rule of invaders, the royal house Rogarvia. We plotted, we schemed, we stabbed each other in the back, but open confrontation was out of the question. But a few years ago, House Rogarvia disappeared. No one knows how or why, but one day, their manors were just empty, and the force that held Brevo together, that kept us from a bloody feud, ceased to be. Brevo is currently ruled by the House Sertova, the former kings of Issia, but their power pales in comparison to that of House Rogarvia when they were here. So now Sertova and Aldori stand facing each other, staring each other in the eye, waiting for the other to draw their sword. It's an untenable situation. No one wants a civil war that would drown Brevo in blood. But peace between us is also out of the question. Rostland wants to regain its independence, and we will regain it. The power the Issians hold over us is humiliating and costly. And the Sertovas won't give us our freedom without a fight. That is, unless there is some external power that can force everyone to sit down and talk. Do you see where this is going? The Stolen Lands are disputed territory. Brevo can't appropriate them without raising protests from each of the neighboring states. However, if some brave people were to found independent states on that land, it would be another matter entirely. My hope is that you and your future neighbors, Baron Hannes Drelev and Captain Mager Varn, will become our allies. But even your neutrality would introduce a powerful counterbalance to the aggression of the noble houses. Maybe, with your help, the inevitable division of Brevo can occur without too much pain. We hope to get some help from the Maivani Aldori, the descendants of the Sword Lords who have fled from Coral's rage to build a new nation in the south. But the Issians know this well, and are doing everything they can to deny us this help. I won't go into details, but if my intelligence is correct, if a civil war starts in Brevo, Maivan will be too occupied with its own inner troubles to interfere. Restov is a free city, proud of its independence from everyone, including the Aldori Sword Lords. But when it comes to Rostland's liberation, our goals align. This whole plan is our joint creation with Lord Mayor Joseph Selemius. Actually, she could still intervene and disrupt the proceedings. But she's a Sertova. Their games are always complex and multi-layered. They're always looking for ways to turn defeat into victory. If she's decided to allow you to become a Baroness, it means she already has some idea of how she can turn it to her benefit. Let's consider how she could do so. Maybe she understands that Rostland will inevitably separate and she doesn't want a war. In that case, new states in the Stolen Lands give the Isians a reason to sit down and talk without losing face. But that's an optimistic view, and truth be told, it doesn't quite match up with what we've come to expect from the Sertovas. The more likely scenario is that Natala wants to win you over to her side. If war breaks out and at least one of you stabs us in the back, Rostland will be surrounded by enemies. That might be enough to bring about our downfall. But you would fall first, and your newly formed states would be left in ruin. The Isians always like to have someone around to pull their chestnuts out of the fire for them. A piece of friendly advice? Don't do business with House Sertovas, no matter what promises they make you. Any deal with the noble houses is a deal with devils. How should I know? We're in the middle of a big game. And today, you move from being merely a piece on the board to being one of the players. I hope you have a better understanding of what's at stake. Of course, Keston gave me a full report. You dealt with the scoundrel perfectly. It would be naive to think that none of your neighbors will try to stick their hands in your affairs. Especially that sly fox Iravetti. Enjoy your evening. When you're ready for the official part, come to me.
Precisely. Will you drink with me? To beauty. It sweetens our happy days and brings solace to our dark and sorrowful ones. But jokes aside, I came to apologize. I know the words I said in our conversation with Lady Aldery might have offended you, but this was not my intention. The lessons life has dealt me were not easy. I've learned to be wary of new acquaintances, which is why I've refused to join your party. I hope you will forgive me for this weakness and for my harsh words. And I hope you will hear me out, for I have something to tell you. How amusing. Usually those who don't seek affection are the very ones who receive it. Anyway, enough sweet talk. There is something important I wanted to tell you. As it happens, I came across some very valuable information. What brave conqueror of these wild lands wouldn't be intrigued by news of an ancient shrine, possibly full of great treasures? A place such as this was discovered by my old friends from Kadira, and it just so happens to be located in the lands that today become rightfully yours. My friends lack the courage to enter the shrine and seek the treasure, but what will stop us? We who know the taste of battle and have been singed by the same fire. I'm sure you'd like to finally gain your official title and celebrate your victory. And I don't like noisy parties and ceremonies. Find me when you return to your dominion. I'll rent a house in your capital. We can discuss the details of our expedition there. So long, friend. I'll call you so today because soon enough, all you'll be hearing is, Your Grace, Your Grace, Your Grace. Quiet footsteps.
So, how do you like our little gathering? I hope you've made some useful connections. Shall we move on to the official proceeding? My apprentice, Casil Aldori, will go with you, won't he? Whatever you choose, I won't argue. But you must choose your inner circle with the utmost care. Excellent. Stand here. Lords and ladies, today we are here to honor 3 brave people who have done the impossible. They've tamed the stolen lands. Baron Hannes Drelev, the new master of Glenabon, Captain Maegor Varn, the conqueror of Dunsword, and finally, the tamer of the Shrike Hills, who put an end to the atrocities of the Stag Lord's bandits. Step forward. On behalf of the people of the free city of Restov, I confer upon you this noble title. Rise, your grace.
Victory! The Stag Lord's dead, and the capital of the new barony has been built in place of his fort. That was how the long and challenging taming of the stolen lands began.
My instincts dull when I'm tired.
I am. I see your fate has changed since last we met. Now you are the ruler who will determine the destiny of these lands. I am their living heart, the whisper of the wind, the strength of rivers, the luxuriant growth of the meadows. Do you wish to touch this power? I will show you a place where we can finally meet in flesh, you and I. Deep in the woods, there is an old mossy ruins long abandoned, nearly swallowed by the thicket. There is an old tree growing among the stones in the yard, which I remember as a seed. A shadow under its green crown I call my verdant chambers. Visit me there, my lady, and come alone. A nymph's reward awaits you. Forgive me, nymphs are not made for cities. The noise and vanity of human settlements vex me. I will answer all your questions, but there, in the silence of my asylum. Then come to my chamber and be my guest. We'll share stories and laughter, imagine the future, and dream. So long, I will await you there, as the ground waits for spring under the heavy winter's snow.